So, thank you for being so patient. Um, in an interview I did earlier, I said that as the night goes on, we'll be able to tell you a bit more about the preliminary results we're getting from tabulating statements of poll that have been coming in. And so it seems as though it's an extremely big night for the PPP, extremely big. And I believe that APNU has been on the air since very early from the close of polls. And I think they also know it's a big night for the PPP. And therefore, they're engaged in a kind of consolation for themselves. They, as they often do, talk a lot and try to obfuscate the real results. So from our preliminary numbers, the PPP will win, we believe at this stage, over 65 of the 80 local government areas that are under contest. That's big. Secondly, we will take some of the towns that were previously under APNU. Thirdly, in Georgetown, we will win more constituencies than we won in the past, and the vote differential between the PPP and APNU in 2018 would be significantly smaller. So it means we'll do extremely well in Georgetown. It's unbelievable for me because, as I said before, regardless of the results today, that the PPP has already demonstrated that it is the only multi-ethnic party that is capable of bringing a crowd together that is made up of people of all races in this country. And we demonstrated that. I made it clear, too, that it's very difficult to win in the stronghold of another party, but we will make a valiant attempt. We will wage a good campaign, and we did, and the results will be evident to everyone. Now, it's pathetic, purely pathetic, and Christopher Jones will say, oh, Jagdeo may have a sleepless night. Well, they have a really sleepless week and months ahead of them. So, because all they're talking about, oh, we're projecting that we're winning in Linden. Now, Linden is your stronghold. You're projecting we're winning in New Amsterdam and Georgetown. Unbelievable that a party, it's like me saying I'm projecting that in LBI, the PPP is going to win tonight, when we could practically win all the votes in LBI. And so it's a kind of pathetic sort of behavior that they've engaged in. But it's all to make the excuses. The excuse about, first of all, losing massively. So they're hoping that by tonight, the first impression would be the lasting impression. It shall not be. We will not allow that to happen. Tomorrow, when I give you the details, because I want to wait until all the SOPs come to Freedom House, we're tabulating now on the basis of WhatsApp images of SOPs that have come in, but I want to wait until all the SOPs come here, where we can actually sit with them and go through these. And then you will see the actual results that we know would show major inroads in the city, major inroads into New Amsterdam, Bartica and Madja. We may be tied in these two areas from our preliminary results, but we have the plurality of the votes. We want more votes than APNU in both areas from on the basis of the preliminary results that came into us. These are two towns that were controlled by APNU. We believe because, although they might be tied now, but because of us winning the plurality of the votes, we will win these areas. This is clearly a result that we had hoped we would get, we're working towards, and it materialized. And we are grateful to the tens of thousands of people who campaigned with us, who were the backers to our list, who are candidates wherever they are, who fiercely contested, but they remain decent. They stayed on message, the message of progress. And tonight I want to say thank you to all of them. And some of them were very excited and enthusiastic and might be a bit disappointed that we didn't win everything in the whole country. But that may happen someday. Right now, we have to contend with the wonderful results that we believe we got out of these local government elections, and these will make our work in 2025 significantly easier. So that's all I'm going to say tonight. Thank you to all the candidates. Thank you to the backers, to the activists who worked very hard today. We want to thank the GCOM officials and the police for all the work they did. Across the country, the poll was successful, and we're very, very pleased with the results. And please do not listen. If you're a sucker for punishment, then go to the APNU and listen to these people. They're a bunch of liars. They've been misleading people before. The same Christopher Jones who've been talking was the one who spread rumors about us wanting to sell people properties in Georgetown. If you got to be really stupid to believe what they're saying, because they lie about everything. And you will see the results. If they can sell this as a win when they got practically wiped out around the country, not a single NDC in Region 2, not a single NDC in Region 1, not a single NDC in Region 3. One NDC winning on the East Bank. That's the kind of pattern that we see. They were practically wiped out in many parts of the country, and in their stronghold, they have a big challenge. Imagine they were projecting in the city, but this is my stronghold, and there are 15 constituencies, I will project, we won all the 15 constituencies. They could have only projected for a few because they know what has happened. That the PPP has won more constituencies in Georgetown, and it is difficult to win a constituency. It's easier to win more on the PR votes, but to win a constituency means that in that particular area, you got the majority of the votes. And you will see the evidence of that emerging tomorrow. And New Amsterdam too, it's the same thing. The many areas in New Amsterdam, we went neck to neck with APNU in what was traditionally where we will get 10 votes in the past in a particular polling place. We're almost getting equal numbers with APNU in many of those areas. So the results have been great, even in New Amsterdam too. That's all I'm going to say tonight. I'll take some questions. So.
What about the possible tie? If it does turn out to be the case, will you request a recount?
The recount, if we believe there are some cases where we believe that recount may be requested by either parties, but I don't think that may change very much the votes. So the law makes provision for situations where you have equal number of seats. And I think if you have the plurality of the vote, then that gives you a stronger case once you have the plurality of the votes in that area.
Samuel Sultan and NCMs. Dr. Jagdeo, you spoke about taking some towns in the direction of Barking market. Are there other potential towns that the PPP?
No, no. These are just preliminary results. That's why I did not want to come out very early. As I said before, a lot can change, or some things can change based on not the real, but the final copies of the SOPs coming here, the tabulation being done properly again, once again. So these are preliminary results. I did not want to do that, but given that APNU is projecting all sorts of things, misleading people again, like they did in 2020 when they came out and said, oh, we won the elections, we have to swear in Granger and all of that. The same Christopher Jones, the lying Jones and the others were doing the same thing then as they did tonight. And that is why I decided to come out here and actually speak about some of the results, which I would have preferred on the process of verification being done before the results come out. GCOM is still the final official entity that will declare the results. But we have done the tabulation here, and I'm advised by the staff who did it that these are the results that we have now. If anything changes, it might be minor issues, but nothing will change the overwhelming victory that the PPP has at these local government elections, where we swept the majority of the significant majority of the local government bodies contesting. We picked up many areas that were formerly controlled by APNU in the local government areas. I think there were 2 of them in Region 5, 1 in Region 2, and East Bank, almost everywhere. We've picked up and swung some of the NDCs. And here too in Georgetown, when you see the final results, and even in the areas, the constituencies in Georgetown where we lose now, you will see that the margins between 2016, 2018, and now, and you will see how tiny the margins are in the constituency between APNU's vote and PPP versus the past. We've reduced the margins, even in those areas. And so for a party that contesting in an area that is the APNU stronghold, and doing that is a really, really big achievement. And I want to thank all of the people who campaigned and the voters in Georgetown and all across Guyana. I want to thank them for the faith that they put in the PPP and the trust that they put in the PPP and giving it an overwhelming majority.
You mentioned in New Amsterdam you see yourself being neck and neck with APNU. APNU has come out to play based on their preliminary results that they won all 7 constituencies.
No, they have not won all the constituencies. I said in many areas in New Amsterdam where we had small numbers of votes, we were neck and neck with APNU. So they did not win every constituency in New Amsterdam. They did not. And secondly, you will see the margin from 2018 to now between our votes in New Amsterdam. So even if they win New Amsterdam overall, this is their stronghold, and they're projecting and behaving as though they won a trip to the moon. But when you look at the competitiveness of the PPP and how close it came in many of these areas to victory, in other tongues we have flipped those, then you would see the great work done by many of these candidates in the area, the amount of work they put in, and the number of voters who decided to give the PPP a chance in these areas, who traditionally voted APNU. Even in Linden and Kwakwani too, we lost by a tiny margin. And from what I'm told by Edge Hill, we lost by a tiny margin. It used to be a gap, a gaping gap, massive. So people there decided to come closer to the PPP.
Have you gotten any word from GMO on how far along tabulation is gone?
No, the tabulation in these areas, first of all, we're dealing with statements of poll now. So by tomorrow, we should get a clear picture from them what's happening. But right now, tonight, we're dealing with the statements of poll. As I said to you before, a lot of these had to come in by WhatsApp, and like in some of the riverine areas, people had to call in the vote. The numbers, Madhya, they had to call in. So I want to wait until tomorrow. I actually did not want to do this tonight. I wanted to wait until tomorrow, but I know the country is awaiting to hear from us too. Having heard all these lies from APNU, many people might get a bit excited and stuff like that. And we didn't want them to continue to mislead people.
Were there any particular challenges by the party?
There are a couple of areas that we are looking at where we believe that may warrant a recount because we believe that the SOP was made in error and it didn't reflect the tally sheet. So the only way you can actually fix that now is by getting a recount of the few of those boxes.
Can you say where some of those areas?
One is in New Amsterdam. One is in New Amsterdam.
Do you have any preliminary stats about voter turnout overall?
It was, as in 2018, low. A low voter turnout. It probably will range between 30 to 40%, somewhere around that level. Thank you very much.